Welcome to Earth 2, where superheroes exist and comic book talk is the norm. It's your boy Mo Crosby. As promised, I have more interviews from Comic-Con for you. So this one is going to be from the cast and crew members of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show on ABC. So sit back, relax, and as always,
welcome to the planet.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has gone through 4 seasons already. We're jumping into the 5th season, and it's edging almost getting towards 100 episodes and syndication. So a lot of those questions were asked to the cast and what they thought of what they thought syndication would be like, and what the excitement was asked. We asked Jeff Loeb what he felt about the fact that they were going into syndication and how excited he was about that. We also asked him what they had planned for the 100th episode. There was a lot of questions asked, and I raised one question that I wanted Chloe to answer, because I wanted to know if the Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would at some point collide and do like a crossover. But there's going to be an answer for that. So I'm not going to ramble on too much. Here is the interview with May, who's played by Ming-Na Wen, and Jeff Loeb, the show's executive producer.
And
why they're in space
remains a mystery. And if they're ever going to be able to get home, will be the driving force for this first pod, which is 10 episodes. I think one of the things that makes this different, we were talking with Jed Whedon and Marissa Tancheron and Jeff Bell, who are the showrunners and who are back in LA making sure the show is running.
Best bosses in the world.
And one of the things that they wanted to mention was that normally in a season of S.H.I.E.L.D., the audience knows what's going on. Like, for example, the audience saw Ghost Rider, knew Ghost Rider, had sort of met Ghost Rider, and then our team had to catch up to that. Like, what is this? There's a guy, and he's got a flaming skull, and what's that all about? And meanwhile, the audience is sitting there going, well, we know what it's all about. We've seen all of this. We even know that it's Robbie, and we know where he is. This is the first time that we've ever told a story where the audience and the team are together. So they're unraveling the mystery as they're going along.
So one of the things I liked about last season with the whole mainframe thing, for your character in particular, you were in the mainframe from like the beginning all the way through until everybody got out. So what was that like actually for your character, just experience that whole thing, like trying to get out, and then it's like, what was that?
Yeah, I mean, it really messed her up a lot, because she was in it the longest, and even though it's supposed to be like a dream, it really isn't. It feels so real that it gets into each person's psyche, and it stays with them. And for May, one of the things that she has major regrets about is losing the Patriot. He dies in the frame. So, and the fact that she was also Hydra, and all the things that she did and justified in May's Hydra's mind, doesn't sit well with me. But the only thing that she takes comfort in is knowing that whatever happened in Bahrain was supposed to happen, because otherwise it would have been a worse situation. So there's like the yin and the yang about having been in the framework.
I mean, does that carry over into a new season for her, basically?
Yeah, I think it does. There's definitely residual lasting effects from the framework for each and every one of the characters.
All the characters are going to be dealing with the fact that obviously Fitz in particular, in terms of the things that he had done, and recognizing that you might have some of that in you, and how you reconcile with that, and how that sort of speaks to the human condition, that under certain circumstances, in order to survive, you might do something that you would never normally do in a regular situation. Marvel always works best when we take things that are happening out there in the real world and we shuttle them through the Marvel prism and then tell an exciting adventure show like S.H.I.E.L.D. And so, this is a season or a pod which I think is going to resonate with a lot of people. yes, we are in space. Yes, we will be dealing with a lot of the fun things that happens when you're doing a space show like Aliens.
Aliens.
But
And Kree. We get Kree.
The blue people, the creepers. But one of the things that makes the show so fun is being able to see how each of these characters have grown from that first season to what we get to celebrate this year for the first time is the 100th episode. So that'll be awesome.
So you're coming up on 100. Do you have anything
It's amazing,
planned?
really.
That is truly amazing for a show that want to come up with 100 in this day and age when everything starts up and gets canceled. What do you guys have specially planned for that 100th episode, or is it a secret?
Well,
I think there's a song and dance.
Oh, that is awesome. So it's a musical episode?
Maybe.
Nice.
No, there's no musical episode. This would be something that'll be heavily under lock and key, but at least from some of the things that we've heard, that there will be. This is just going to sound like a cop-out, but obviously it'll be something that's extremely significant, and perhaps.
That was really awesome. We got to hear from them and hear some of their answers, and that was again. These are just excerpts I'm giving you guys. The full interviews will be on the podcast, so go down into the description bar and look out for that. Now we're gonna jump into the FitzSimmons interview, and these characters, Fitz and Simmons, are played by Elizabeth Henstridge and Leander Castecker.
Well, I mean, a lot happened last season, and I think, FitzSimmons have been through so much, and at the end of last season we saw Fitz kind of reeling, coming to terms with what he had done, because the framework, it frames you differently, it doesn't make you a different person, and so, a lot of the terrible things he did, Fitz did that for real, and he wanted to do it, and so I think, Fitz is kind of in that situation, like he doesn't feel like he should be loved by Simmons, and Simmons has to kind of get over the fact that he was with another woman and shot her and was just basically not a bit rude, really. So we see them kind of dealing with that, but I think there's such a huge change in season 5. We see them having to deal with something so different that it's almost like you just got to survive before we can even think about, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? The stakes are so high when we enter season 5 that it's kind of, I feel like we'll get to that in a bit. Right? You're off the hook basically because even bigger
What was it like for you to actually play a 180 from your character? Your character goes from like this timid, well not just timid, but just like this very super smart part of the person, and now you're in this mainframe that's just basically this heel turn evil person.
I hated it.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I didn't. They gave me some really cool stuff to do. And it could be fun. I mean, like for instance, the scene where I'm kind of interrogating Chloe. That's fine because I'm not a big fan of Chloe's. That was a joke.
That was really awesome. The two of them have this really good chemistry together that comes on the show, and you can see that they also have that same chemistry with each other in real life as castmates. So it's awesome to see that, and it was awesome to hear from them and talk to them. Next up, I have for you Clark Gregg and Chloe Bennett, and they play already. You guys already know who they play. Chloe plays Quake, and Clark plays Phil Coulson. So here's their interview.
TV side and stuff like that, but I felt that y'all have gotten to that point, especially after the 4th season. It's like, I can see them actually teaming up with some of the heroes, and it's just seamless and stuff. So I mean,
that's really nice of you to say.
So do you guys? I mean, I know y'all probably hear this multiple times. Do y'all ever just foresee a future 2-3 years down the road if y'all still doing this where that could actually happen?
I would love that. I think the show has really stepped up in a big way. I really think Jed, Whedon, and Marissa, and Jeff, I don't think they get enough credit for how much material they have to put out and they do it with such great quality and such unique takes on how to kind of reinvent the show. I mean, we had 3 pods last season, essentially 3 miniseries last season, and I think they deserve the recognition. I mean, I think the show deserves to be featured on a big scale. but it's complicated.
I had Ghost Rider. That was a big deal.
A lot of people have stumbled around Ghost Rider. It was really hard what they pulled off, and to do it on a
TV
schedule with
that
a
looked like a
TV
movie budget.
Thank you.
Effect.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
It's no small feat. I mean, to reinvent a world, that means you have to build a whole different world, introduce the audience, teach them the rules of that world. It's a huge amount of work for everyone who works on
Doctor
the
Strange
show.
helped with the Ghost Rider a little bit too, because I saw some
Absolutely.
Doctor Strange stuff with it. I was like, okay, I remember Doctor Strange that had that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? You know, there's so much cool stuff going on in Marvel. Our deal is we only see the episodes we're about to shoot unless there's something that our character knows that we really need to know. So I've seen up to episode 8 in terms of scripts, and I haven't seen anything about that yet.
So based on your character, you're saying no.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's good. That works. Awesome, right? Yes, that was pretty awesome. So, last but not least, I have for you Henry Simmons and Natasha Cordova Buckley. Buckley? Yes. They play Mackenzie and Yo-Yo.
To inform the characters as they come into this season, because it's not really a clean slate. It's like you don't just reset over the seasons, right? So, how is that going to be affecting you guys as we come into the new season?
Well, in this season, it's going to affect us a great deal because, as you said, in other seasons, it's a time jump for 6 months, maybe a year, whatever. This season, it's immediate. Whatever ended last season, we pick up immediately this season. So, in terms of our characters coming out of the framework, we're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with the residual effect of the loss that we experienced. The thing that's interesting is that external threat is how each person deals with their particular conflict. You know, Fitz deals with it one way, I deal with it another, deal with it another way.
And we've been saying in a bit of those personal challenges are going to have to take a back seat in this season or not be as permanent because we're in space and we're trying to figure out how to get out. So it's like, deal with your daughter later. We need to deal with humans.
Because we have external threats. He gave that to me over there. He ain't even listening. Yeah, well, we have external threats this time.
Yeah.
Because we're in space.
Process, at least for me as an actor, I would never approach this as I would approach theater or film. We were just saying in the other table, you know, you get a film, you build your character on what's on that script, you go in, you shoot for 3 months or a month, and it's wrapped. Here, you're constantly evolving, you have new material, things change, so it poses a different challenge, and the challenge is precisely that, getting the script on Thursday and starting to shoot on Friday, and really in 24 hours, 12 hours that you've got, getting all of that kind of juice that you find in the script into the character, and trying to find threats with your past, so you have some sort of congruency with the person you're building. So it's a completely unique challenge.
Again, it was beautiful stuff to hear from them. Again, I have the full interviews and full audio from them on the podcast, so go check that out on the podcast. The link is right here. Down in the comment section, let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if I was able to answer some of your questions. I think I should have done a video asking you to send me questions to ask these guys. That is what I should have done. But yeah, let me know if I was able, or if, you know, some of the questions or some of the answers were good enough for you in terms of, you know, what you thought and how you would feel about the questions and how you'd feel about the show moving forward if you're Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. watcher on the channel. Let me know if you want me to start covering Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also, check Earth 2 out for exclusive pictures from these roundtables. We have exclusive pictures posted up on our social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you guys again for watching. I've been your boy, Mo Crosby. And as always, keep reading, keep watching.